This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Wavelength, an experimental Canadian film from 1967 directed by Michael Snow. It's set entirely in one room of a studio apartment, with the camera focused completely on one wall. That's basically it. A few things do happen, though they're hardly given any attention at all. A few people enter the room, 2 people talk and listen to music, a man enters the room and collapses, and a woman enters and calls emergency services. Meanwhile, the camera slowly zooms in on a picture of ocean waves hanging on the wall. Did you know this movie is just over 40 minutes, and that's all that happens? Being experimental, it's not too surprising that there's no real narrative at all. Wavelength is driven more by its method of persistence within the space that the camera exists, if that makes sense. The movie is very minimalist, focused on one position within the room and one movement entirely. It brings attention to different elements of this apartment, almost in waves, which may be appropriate, but I may also just be projecting. Anyways, the film seems to want you to see the whole space as it is, after which you begin to notice other details, like what's going on outside the window or what exists within the room and what can be heard. As the camera begins zooming in, you start to notice that as well. And you begin to notice what else you can see with this closer look. And when people begin entering the room, you focus on them. And once they leave, it's back to the room again. And the environment itself becomes a character in a way. Soon enough, you try to find some idea or meaning within what you see, but that may not even happen because there may not be much meaning in anything after all. Actually, that's a bit depressing. Well, I can say that, at the very least, there's some idea of the exploration of a space within Wavelength, almost in opposition to the very idea of a traditional narrative, by focusing on that space even when it's not occupied and the action is happening elsewhere. Whether or not that's the actual point of the movie, I leave up to somebody smarter than me. Wavelength, Michael Snow, 1967. 2.5 stars. I wouldn't recommend seeing it though. Not unless you need 40 minutes to come down from a caffeine high or an energy drink or something like that. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. As always, subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I wonder what a remake of this movie would look like. Maybe it would go something like this.